All right, let's see if we can get the algorithm to give me a few viewers. I'd like to have at least 10 likes by the end of this video, which is impossible by my own standards, but I'm going to talk about the things that I know what I'm talking about, which is it's a good day for good work. If it's to be, it's up to me. I can do it. I like myself, and I love my job. These are powerful mantras that I tell myself to get me through moments of the day. I don't get through days. Honestly, a day is much too long for me to get through. I don't have the strength. I really don't. If it wasn't for moments that I create moment to moment, I would be just like I used to be, and I would have a very bad attitude all the time because I'd be living in a daze. I'd be living in the weekdays, and I don't want to live in weekdays anymore. In order to change the things around you, you gotta change the way you think. And nothing around you changes, you've got to change the things around you. You can. You can definitely change the things around you if you change the way you think. And that can be hard sometimes, especially if you're in a difficult relationship, especially if you're living with your parents, that could be part of the relationship issues. But setting boundaries for yourself, setting goals for yourself, these are really important things that people don't talk about a lot. So that's why I'm streaming, because I want to show people that there's other things to talk about on YouTube. I can distract you for a moment just by talking about, the stuff that you're not doing right now, which is fine. You don't have to. I don't want to make you think about the stuff you're not doing right now, or do I? Because we all got stuff that we should be doing that we know that we don't do. That would make us better for it, like exercising. Something as simple as breathing practice techniques. I like the idea of being a good breather. See that? That was an excellent breath. Donnie boy, much love right back. Thanks for joining me. Not going to be a long session today. No exercise. You should have tuned in yesterday if you wanted to see the exercise program. If you wanted to come to the gun show here. But today, we're just going to go ahead and put it all on the wire here. It's like, how do we get through these long, incredible days of ours, right? And I don't. I really don't get through the day. Prandaska to you, Mohan. My spirit bows to yours. So, I want to know, I just want to know, what is it that you do, or what do you tell yourself when you need to push past all the nonsense that's going on? When you know you're done with you being a whiner and you're like, no, it's time to go. I'm going to get this. What is it you tell yourself? Because you know what I tell myself, like today, right now? It's a great day for great work. I can do it. I'm the best. I love my job. These are the things that I tell myself literally out loud, sometimes in the mirror. Sometimes just look in the mirror and remind myself that I like myself. That's challenging. It's hard. It's really the hardest part. And that's working harder on myself than I do at my job. Another perfect example of a way that you can work harder on yourself than you do at your job. And something just like I was saying, as simple as breathing, we could be doing that we just, including me, most of the time, we don't consider to practice or improve on. Our posture, most of the time. It's like that's the thing. You become what you think about most of the time. So now I'm glad to say that I have altered the way I think, and I do try to focus on my breathing as often as possible. I do try to focus on my posture as often as possible and moment to moment. It's not about just having the whole day. It's like if I find throughout my posture slack in a moment of clarity, I'm just like, oh, look, my back's not the way I want it to be. My back's not the way I want my back to be. Straight up, shoulders back, chest out, chin up, hands down. Feet planted, hips bent. Know how to stand. Know how to breathe. Know how to walk. Know how to talk. Like, yeah, you think you learned it when you were a kid and that was perfect. That's enough learning for now. Honestly, it's not enough. No, like, and people like, you can tell yourself that you're enough to some level. but there's always a nagging, empty feeling with me. And I don't know how many other people feel the emptiness like I do, but I've learned something very important about emptiness. It's powerful. It's a powerful feeling. As a matter of fact, I think that's where, if you believe in God, man, believe in God is in the emptiness. Because if you can accept that emptiness, you can accept the idea of a higher power um, in yourself. You know, that higher power is in the echoing chambers of the emptiness that dwells in your soul and your mind. I wish that sounded more profound than it probably did. But seriously, sincerely, I don't do anything seriously. I try to be sincere with what I say and how I act. So, cause show me seriously. Show me how to be serious. You know what I call being serious? A clenched butthole. Because as soon as someone says, be serious, straighten up, stop that goofiness, you know, especially when you were in school sitting at your desk, you just kind of shit. Put your feet together and you clench up. So, but watching what I say is very important to me for development. So that's another thing. I don't say that I'm serious anymore. I say that I'm sincere. I don't say I live in a weak days anymore. I say I build strong moments. These are little 1 degree changes that I've implemented, and I'm not a millionaire. I'm not rich by the conventional methods. I think I'm very wealthy, though, in philosophy. I'm very strong on my own understanding of what I'm capable of most of the time, and that's only that's only metered by my unstoppable urge to be more than what I am. You know, so that's healthy to some level. But then, you know, you can push yourself to hurt yourself. So there's a healthy line. And burnout. Don't get me started about burnout. Fake it till you make it is a great concept in practice, but terrible on its face. You know, a lot of people want to argue about faking it till you make it being unauthentic to yourself. We've got 8 people watching right now. That's a high number for me. I appreciate you guys coming in here. It says I'm saying something right. But here's the deal about fake it till you make it. Give me a second. Because I'm sure you've heard the term. I'm sure you've heard the expression of fake it till you make it. But what's challenging is understanding how is it you're being authentic to yourself when you're pushing past your own boundaries. And you know, then a lot of people, like, you want to say something to someone like, "Oh, geez, this is so hard. I really need a break right now." Most people are going to tell you, "Yeah, take a break." You know what I mean? Donnie, look at that. As soon as I said something, everybody cleared out. I think they looked at the number and they're like, "I'm helping this guy be a number on his channel. I'm out of here. I'm out. Oh, look who's here." Edwina. Try to get smoking at first. But she's pregnant again. I tried not to let her get pregnant. There was nothing I could do. I have to give all her kittens away now. I'm very disappointed. I've been noticed. Time to go. Yeah, that's how I am at a party. Anyway, my main goal for coming on here was just to keep trying to pound in these messages, not just to you, but to me too. I need to hear this stuff. I need to remind myself of who I am. And the only way that I can really do that is by reflection. So making this video is a bit of a reflection to myself. If you check out some of my other live streams, you'll see reflections of me that weren't very flattering. Not that I look great right now, but hey, at the very least, I'm sober from alcohol. Bah, high five, right? Not that anyone cares. I don't even really care, man. It's just a moment thing, you know? Like, I don't want to tell myself, oh, I'm never going to have a drink again. That would, you know, like, I'm not talking, like, this isn't an AA meeting. But it's just one of those things where you live in the moment, and trying to do otherwise creates anxiety. You know, the past is gone, future's not here yet. It's one of those things where, depending on your job, that's why jobs, I guess, create a lot of anxiety for people, because it's like, if you think about your job as a whole on the surface of the idea, just for example, if you're a dishwasher, right? And if you say to yourself, gee, my job consists of washing dishes, and I have all these dishes that I've washed for the past year, hundreds and thousands of dishes, and I've got an endless number of dishes to wash for the future, you know, to delve into Buddhism at all, Tommy. I'll dive into anything like I don't go too deep. I swim in the waters, but I don't go too deep and stuff. Well, that's not really true either, Donnie. I don't know. Yeah, I like the Buddhist ideas, but I don't like that the term Buddhism is what we have to call it. Because that leads to people labeling you a Buddhist, and then if you don't follow these certain traits and parameters, like then you're not really a Buddhist, and so Buddhism is a good idea. It's a interesting correlation of principles that I feel are applicable. However, the moment you label something that, it's no longer a true Buddhist, in my opinion. Yeah, and that's the thing, because then you got the two schools of Buddhism, which is the one of, Buddha from like there's two different trains of Buddha, right? There's one where he was Prince Sadia. I can never pronounce the name. Like the original Buddhist religion story. But then the other idea. So what I'm trying to say is I think there's two trains of Buddhism. There's one where it's like Buddha is all, and we are Buddha, you are Buddha, he, she, we, they Buddha, right? And then there's well, actually Buddha was this guy, Prince Sadia Hadiyadamata, and he lived a long time ago. He had these principles. He lived. He died. Um, I don't know if he resurrected. I think they kind of leave that for the Yeshua story, right? Maybe he resurrected. Oh, did he ascend to heaven, Buddha? I don't really know. See, I don't know. But I'm not going to claim to know something I don't know. So, and that's something a lot of people can't do. A lot of people have to say, "Oh no, I know that. I know all about that." It's like, as soon as you say you know about something, you stop learning about it. So you don't know everything. And all that I know nothing. What were we talking about before that though? Don't really remember. Well, anyway, yeah, I was talking about how, hey, Carlos! Welcome to the chat, buddy. It's a good day for good work. If it's to be, it's up to me. And, I just want to challenge everybody watching to check your self talk. And I don't mean it just negative self talk. Hopefully, you have some positive things that you can tell yourself on the regular. And if you start manipulating your inner dialogue, you'll experience great things, like being able to question things in a way that you hadn't been able to before, because that's really where it starts. It's all in the internal dialogue of your mind. So for me, what do you guys have? I keep talking about me, but no one else is speaking up. If you have something that you tell yourself every day that makes you feel empowered, what is it? For me, it's a great day for great work, and if it's to be, it's up to me. I'm the best. I can do it. I like my job. Things like that. Those are my main ones right there. Trying to think of some other ones that I usually say a lot. But those are the main ones. Those are the big tough ones right there. I don't live in the weak days. I build strong moments. I don't say I have problems. I acknowledge challenges. Yeah, and if it does feel like it's becoming a problem, then I convert it to a new challenge as often as possible. So if something really is becoming such a challenge I can't overcome it myself, the new challenge becomes finding the right person to overcome that obstacle with. You know, you don't have to call something a problem. Just I thought that when I was younger, right? And this is what I call personal growth right here. Let me walk you down this little path of my verbal um, gymnastics. When I was younger, I thought I could get rid of problems by saying, I don't have a problem if I challenge things. If I just challenge something that's an obstacle, it's no longer a problem. Well, that's partly right. Let's try that for a little while. So now what happens when you cross things that you're challenging and you can't do by yourself? You just can't do this by yourself. It's a team lift effort, and as much as you'd like to say it's not a problem, you can't do it. So now is it a problem that you can't do it? That there's no one next to you? Or is it a new challenge that your challenge is to find the right person? I learned that one too, because challenging to find someone to help you is different from challenging to find the right person. Again, back to the team lift thing. If the object is too heavy and you need a second person, picking a small, frail child might not be the best option. You know, you got to pick the right individual for the encounter. I think that's an important lesson as well. But after all that, what I have left is that I don't have problems for the most part. I have challenges, and challenging the obstacle with the right person can be the challenge too. You know, so just getting the word problem, out of my vocabulary for myself daily. Um, and it starts with moments, moment to moment. Oh, 30 hits. So all right, I'm on my final countdown right now. Here, I have to send it because I'm going to my job, and my job is different from work. Honestly, just streaming on YouTube right now, trying to keep a conscious, mental, like consistent dialogue going is more work with purpose. Like having a purposeful dialogue with you guys is more work to me than an entire shift at my job, because this caused me to have to work harder on myself than I do at my job. I had to really dig down deep and have cognitive thoughts to offer you and try to be rational, reasonable, articulate my thoughts and sentences. So this is a lot of work for me, YouTube streaming. And if you appreciate it, then the best way to show me is through the simple things, the old-fashioned good thumbs up and a little subscribe button. You know, I don't expect you to share my stuff right now. I don't have much powerful, stuff to be shared. But when I do, we'll talk about that. But for right now, I appreciate you stopping by and chatting with me for a time. Donnie Boy, if you're still there listening, thank you for being a regular. And I hope you continue to follow around me whenever I come around. I've been trying to do it a little more lately because, I got a new phone. But now it's like, in my life, it's, again, problems, they exist maybe, but I don't have to call them problems. I don't have to give them power to be a problem. They can say they're problem. It's like, is water wet? Is a problem a problem? It's like, it's there. It can't be the thing that it is, that it makes other things, have. So the mindset is it's the only real challenge I find, that, you don't want to call it problematic. Why have any problems? Just don't call them problems, and And you can't just say, "Oh, well, I don't have problems." No problem. Nope. Challenges. I challenge everything that I can, and sometimes I challenge things that I shouldn't. But like, I don't care if it makes sense, if it's rational, it's reasonable. You know, I gotta get to the bottom of something. You call me. You call Thomas the Tank, because I don't stop rolling. I keep on trucking till I get the solution. You know, and there's good attributes for that. So, anyway, I'm gonna go to my job, and I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna be the best. People, you know, they do what they can, but I do everything I can, you know. So I don't know. Obviously, I'm just kind of jab drawing right now, but that's okay because this is my channel, and I'm allowed to do that. And for those who have seen me in the past, you know, this isn't unhealthy behavior for me. So I just want to have something regular in life, like a little blog or something, maybe some sort of routine. I struggle with keeping a routine for myself, so it would be nice. Oh, wouldn't it be lovely, 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 lovely? All I want is a room somewhere, warm and safe in my big old chair. Right. So, yeah, if I could leave you with anything, it would just be to set clear goals and manage your expectations. Should I do like, should I do like that Charlie guy, moist? All right, that's all I got for you today. Bye. Just direct to the point. Damn, it's a lot of space in there. Shit. All right, now's the time I usually devote to putting myself together, making sure I got everything. I don't know. I'm very disappointed in the battery of this phone, by the way. Like, this brand new phone I got, battery sucks. It just sucks. Whatever, what are you gonna do? Alright. I think it's time to blow this scene. Get everybody in their stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Do 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 do. Alright, thank you for joining me. I gotta go. All you still mean to say. I really don't gotta go though. I really don't gotta go. Cause like I can take this phone on the road. But maybe it's better I go for my mindset because I need that preparation time, you know? That's what I'm talking about. See, that's my whole message, my motto, that's my logo. It's like having your mindset right, you know, and that's the thing. If I get addicted to streaming and I stop focusing on my drive, then I can just like everybody else. So the only thing that makes me different is my whatever little self-discipline I have of not being on the phone. It's not even discipline. It's not that hard. It's never been hard to not be on my phone. Never had much to do. But you know, YouTube streaming is addictive. I said it before. It is very addictive. Especially to get good people like you talking. Anywho, that's enough. I'll talk to you later, guys.